played earlier on in the competition, that map of Ancient was the only one that FORZE picked up, so...
Speaking of picking up, Jerry just had to go back late into T-spawn. He forgot his Glock.
It happens to me all the time as well. I have to go home and get my Glock too, but...
Are you strapped?
I'm strapped as. Gnarly.
Huh?
Huh?
Well, Almeza has thrown the flash, and Lotte hasn't full committed, but he's got the bink. Okay, a P250 wallbang to under Balk. Oh, all right. Well, this match off is off to a bang.
Oh, man! Only able to get the first. A little bit of whiff on the first couple of shots, and didn't help him out for the second player that swung. In the end, it's looking like it might end up being quite a comfortable victory here for FORZE on the pistol. Furlan and Fiku have wrapped across, but both are in the CT spawn, and one of them has been spotted out. Spoke about Fiku being pretty sharp, and now Furlan chimes in with one as well. Bomb plant not yet down. He starts to get a bit more desperate for FORZE. Fiku, 27 HP for clutch, but he is hitting everything at the USP right now. 2 kills already, and Kenzie will not be comfortable rolling around this corner, but he does get it done for FORZE. A bit too close for comfort.
Oh, that just broke down to individual firefights there. Funnily enough, the 4 versus 2 advantage didn't feel like it was going to be enough.
Did you see what happened? They were trying to fake the A hit to go out B, and then all the CTs rotated, and then FORZE came back, and then almost lost all their players before the bomb even had a chance to get planted. So FORZE could have found the B site for free. I think we're very lucky there.
We're all still reeling at that P250 wallbang. Floor bang in this instance.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Not on a pistol round.
I've casted a lot of Counter-Strike.
Seen it with the Deagle, not with the P250.
Yeah. Well, FORZE buy has come through for AGO, and Snatchy, scout in hand, already has the info, and now a headshot to boot. Oh my word, Snatchy, take a bow. A double kill with the scout starts things off phenomenally for AGO in round 2 of Mirage.
Low Flit answers as he does get let run up short. However, he's going to reroute back through Con, expecting the potential rotation already. But Berlin up in Palace in a very key position to try to retake the A site.
He's heard those footsteps, that's for sure. Flit up on top of a balcony. His position well and truly known. It's not Berlin, but he doesn't get the chance to fire a shot. Still, Snatchy is hitting everything with the scout at the moment, and everything is almost always a headshot.
Just a one-man wrecking ball at the moment with that scout. But now back on an A bomb site, so it's only Rallin that was going to hold down B. However, the T's are going to regroup.
Time is a factor now.
Absolutely. Looks like they're going to go through short here towards B, so this is where Rallin's really got to step it up.
The man's on the way over. Really get there in time. Snatchy can't see through that smoke, obviously, and so FORZE have managed to get into the B bomb site, but Rallin remains unseen. The man might have made a bit of noise in market. Can't get anything done, and so now 15 seconds on the timer. FORZE will be able to get the bomb plant down. Snatchy! Surely we can't ask for more from the man, but it feels like he might need to do it himself. There is just an MP9 for the man, but Snatchy says, I don't need you, I don't need help. Finally, someone else gets something done. What a round from Snatchy, though.
4 kills and an assist, almost all 5. That is complete ridiculous. And 4 of those shots were nice little headshots with the scout too. So couldn't ask for too much more from him. And AGO are going to win their force buy.
And, I mean, you can't ask for more from a player, really. He's done it all in that round, and you could just tell that FORZE really did struggle in that late round. I mean, great work from AGO, particularly Rallin as well, not to face. He made them clear the whole site.
Took him a long time to do so.
Before he got in, so that just brought up more time and actually allowed the rotation to come through. So, FORZE, not surprising to see them force. This is what they do.
Oh, AGO was able to force and win last round. Off back of some heroics, though. It's not looking as comfortable for FORZE here. They've only got the flashes to get them into sights now. No smokes, no mollies, and speaking of which, there's some for the CT side over on B. Well done from Rallin to do a quick 180 and deal with Flit as well. FORZE are not looking like they're going to get into B at all. Great util usage from the CT side, and that is how you lock down an anti-force.
Oh yeah, AGO sending a message nice and early on Mirage.
Wonder if Snatchy might get scouted for better teams.
You reckon he's going to get snatched away from AGO?
Come on, Mac. Throw something in, go matchy-matchy with us.
No. Not yet.
That was matchy.
I'm just here for the one deeks.
How's your voice today? A little bit scratchy?
Yep.
It's good to see we've got our old dynamic back.
What do you want from me, Jim?
Just the world, Mac.
Anything.
Just the world.
Ooh. I'm just here for the vocals, you know. Ooh. Ah.
Acapella.
Oh. You know.
Macapella, even.
I'm pretty much just a soundboard.
We did get into a bit of that in the ESL Pro League last time we were doing overnight shows.
Oh.
Don't know if anyone wants that back.
Macapella or soundboarding?
Macapella soundboard. Bit of both. Kind of everything. Either way, AGO's got everything done so far on Mirage. There was a little moment of hope for FORZE, but 3-1 so far, and AGO building up that CT economy.
Yeah, into round 5. And FORZE are back on the guns.
Certainly are, with the smokes going down in mid. He's going to create the illusion of a presence as they back towards A here for that bust through the smoke.
Looks like that's what's going to happen as well. One smoke towards the top of con, no flashes, full dry push all the way out, and Jerry, he's going to be able to get an entry at least, but look at the mop-up. It's a 30-second round with what would have been a 5-second execute before they got shut down. FORZE not finding anything at the moment.
Fiku, the turret, he took 3. Just like that. If you don't...
Said it. That's a tilter of a round.
Oh.
For sure. Someone's going, why did we do that? Like, why did we do that?
Why did they show no presence towards mid? We threw 2 smokes there. It wasn't enough to draw their attention.
Well, AGO, big brain. Saw a bit of that on the Nuke CT side as well. It felt like a lot of instances where they either gambled correctly or put their players in the right positions, and FORZE came to them. So they're reading the play quite nicely so far in this matchup.
These two teams are very well prepared for one another. They do get a good number of reps out.
Well, 4-1. Off to the races for the CT side right now. Money continues to build up. Every single player above 5k, most above 6k. So there's another buy or 2 in the back pocket of AGO right here. It's not going to be an easy task for FORZE. It actually falls off the line in mid. It is just another eco round coming out for FORZE.
Just to give you some insight, so 78% win percentage on Mirage in the last 3 months. And they've played it 32 times.
That's pretty impressive. And I tell you what else has been pretty impressive is FORZE's ability to get work done with the Deagles today.
Yep.
That's probably been the one detriment, the one negative downside that you could talk about for this AGO roster. At least as far as Nuke was concerned.
Well, he's just getting dominated by some Eagles.
Yeah, a couple of times. Well, Tech9 was one. But they don't want that to happen again, and it's starting to show some signs. Fiku is able to win the all-important aim battle. If he would have fallen, so too does the A-bomb site. But now he can hold on to things, build a bit of a crossfire setup. Snatchy close. Not expecting the Glock right there, and that is not where you want to be. Glock in the head. And again, it's just a round that's starting to slip away from AGO. And it's only pistols, guys. How does this happen? They absolutely dominate the guns. But pistols are something else. And that's something else that AGO can't really deal with.
It's not the player you want to hand the AWP to either, Dorothy.
No, that's for sure.
I mean, Fiku's quite a capable player, but this is a big ask.
Shouldn't have to be all on his shoulders right here. A lot of info for Flit, so he'll take a peek.
Well,
and now Zorte has no armor.
The thing you got to remember is Fiku wins these. So we've seen that a few times tonight, and he's looking to do it yet again. Plenty of time, going extremely quickly over towards the B side. Zorte posted on the line, and he's going to stop him in his tracks this time. FORZE able to pick up a second.
It's not what they want, though. I mean, it wasn't anything special. There was no investment coming out, really, from FORZE. I mean, we know they do work with these Deagles, but you can't allow them back into this. I feel as though there's been a few rounds here where AGO have definitely let, and going back to Nuke as well, where they've definitely let FORZE back in on the back of some force buys. So, failed flash for the low ramp, but there's nobody there. So, you can see that AGO, they actually rotated off the B side. And now they're showing presence back towards B, but it's just a slow approach here.
Can't be doing that. The grenade's going to finish him off. Surely one of them missed. The other one went a bit too deep. Somehow Snatchy's alive, but barely. Fiku drops on the A bomb site as well. So the man having been deleted.
They've just called a save as well.
Oh, but not quite. Yeah, look where Furlan's coming from. Just coming right from behind an underpass at the perfect moment. Brings to the 4v3. Lots of damage done already. Snatchy with another, and now a chance in the round. So,
Yeah.
bomb just gets planted, and there's some time for the retake. It's only Furlan looking for it, though.
A couple of smokes for AGO was definitely on the cards, but they've decided that they're not interested. Money's in a bit of an awkward spot, but if they do save the 3 guns here, they can get a pretty decent buy through.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for the CT side, but you just think about how different this first half could look if AGO wouldn't have dropped that previous round to the Eagles. You know?
I guess the same could be said for Nuke as well. Certainly would have been as close a map.
Yeah.
These teams just so evenly matched.
I mean, to FORZE's credit, they've been working very, very hard in this series, so it feels like they do deserve some degree of reward. AGO leaving the door just slightly ajar, and it's been kicked right in by FORZE. They're back 4-3. Why to come for AGO, and we'll see if they can slam that door shut again on an unwelcome guest.
Forced entry.
Forced entry. I get it. I actually get it. You made it.
I'm proud. I'm proud.
FORZE. Sounds like FORZE. Wow, that is a shot from Almeza as well. Just as the smoke pops. Jerry in a very weird position. There's a lot going on in this round. Lots of players hiding in smokes that could end up working or sort of backfiring. There is one of them, Laman and Rallon, finding a killer piece. And Rallon in connector is a huge thorn in the side for FORZE. Not quite able to get the 3. And Kenzie very sharp. Man, the shots that are going down right now on Mirage are all over the place. Everyone is hitting everything. But it's on to Snatchy. And he sees the head. Oh, no! Again, what a shot from Snatchy. He's got a magnet.
What is this game? Just action, chaos, going everywhere. This is just Mirage to a T.
Ludicrous. Snatchy won't be ballsy enough to take the peak, but falls into CT. I mean, there's so much time now for Kenzie. He could go anywhere. He could be anywhere at this point already. So what does Snatchy do? Obviously, he has to gamble on one of the bomb sites. We'll stay on A, which might work out nicely for him. Up on stairs. Oh, the timing was so good for Snatchy. At least that gives him the info. Bait plant from Kenzie. Snatchy not baited by it just yet. Will start to creep his way forward. Now recognizing this is great from Snatchy so far. Has given himself the space to work. Shotgun. But the rifle is superior, and Kenzie picks up 3 hugely impactful frags in that round to bring it to 4 apiece.
Oh, Snatchy had all the info then too. Saw the shadow after the plant. Just waited to potentially take a better shot. Didn't actually get that away, but my, oh my. Two big impactful players coming head to head in that 1v1 clutch. And again, it's all coming down to these clutches between these two teams.
It's just a matter of rounds until the swing point happens again as well. You see AGO just going for the force by knowing that FORZE's economy is, well, pretty much in the bin after losing so many players round after round. Fiku unable to hold here over towards the A site, and now FORZE, they're going to hit the accelerator. Jerry with another entry, pulls out the knife, and Snatchy misses that opportunity, and he's not going to get another as well. Jerry knocks him down a notch.
And AGO, they'll be ruining the day that they lost to the Eagles.
Oh, that was knife territory.
Definitely was. What more can Furlan get here, though? Flash out into mid. Almeza takes the time to peek, and it works out nicely for him, but inevitably Furlan just a little bit better. He's dismantling FORZE one by one. Flit very low on HP, would have to be careful taking that kind of a peek, and all this util is being used very, very nicely by Furlan. In the end, can't get more than the 2, but it looked like he would. 5 on 4, and FORZE find the lead on Mirage.
He was definitely toying with them there in the end. Get that one way. Flit was all over that. Wasn't anything special. That ult from Snatchy could have done a lot of damage, but rendered useless in the end.
Nova again.
Haven't actually seen him play with the Nova in previous matches, so this might just be a FORZE special.
Playing with a fire right now. So much util headed in his direction. He gets a headshot through the wall. Ooh. And he gets one not through the wall.
Okay, but it polishes off the same guy you already hit in the noggin, so extra damage done from that one. Almeza, though, spots the shotgun close to the ramp, and he slowly makes his way back towards T-spawn.
Both players walk away wounded from that one.
Yeah.
That said, it's 5 on 4. What does Furlan do here? Pops his head back up. Hasn't seen anything yet. Flit might have spotted him. Oh, there's a chance here for Furlan. Definitely a dance with death for both players.
He's jumped and not seen a thing, though, so he hasn't called for any extra backups just yet from the rest of AGO, and now it's going to be the bus just from halfway up apartments. Still clearing out van. There you go, Furlan dealt with. Now there's one player to hold the device in time, and that is Rowland, but he's not able to get more than the 2 taps in the body onto Jerry. So now it's difficult for the rest of AGO.
Shot from the man. Brings it back to 3 on 3. Bomb plant's going down right as we speak for FORZE. But look at the positioning of Fiku coming up behind. Only has a USB in hand, but if Zorte is not watching the angle, could have been in a bit of a spot of bother. In the end, won't end up working out for Snatchy, and that should pretty much be the round Fiku dispatched of. FORZE go up to 6. And then, again, a brief moment of hope for AGO in that one, but not able to convert it. This will be an important round, though. AGO finally starting to get their money back in line, enough to get a purchase through. They've let slip a couple of opportunities on this map, so they'll be wanting to make sure that they hold on to this one.
Interesting to note too, FORZE, they definitely prefer the T side, the CT side on this map compared to the T side. So they do take the majority of their rounds on a 78 win percentage on the CT side. So their best, I guess, is yet to come, which is a scary prospect for AGO. They really need to show their best on this map, on CT side.
Well, let's see what changes. AGO at least with guns this round. 3-1-1 setup. Although the man may be going over towards Con. However, good gap to smoke for Rowland. Going to be able to play that one way. Furlan holding strong with the change in pace over towards the B site. No one just above him just yet. Almeza hitting the brakes and looking to drop his way down, playing around the smoke. We'll get an entry, but now it's just him and Flit remaining, and Flit is slowly making his way up short, but Almeza, the one to dish the damage so far. Rowland, they know that he's on site somewhere, just hidden here at bench. It's just a matter of moments, but Almeza disregards the position. It's going to be the market player to do it. Flit with one, but not expecting the man behind him, and Rowland. The sneaky approach works well to get AGO onto 5 rounds.
Probably the pass score for AGO there. 2 guns alive. Doesn't do a whole lot to improve their circumstances, but nor does it diminish their circumstances. So, I suppose you take it, you need the round win, but they need it with more than just 2 guns alive.
Does not build CT economy, that's for sure.
Yep.
Certainly keeps them honest. That being said, though, the man and potential maybe even to drop a FAMAS over as opposed to that MP9 and Furlan. We've seen Furlan, he's got locked down the D-bomb site by himself with just an MP9, but this aggression through mid catches Fiku off guard.
Uh-oh.
It's a common trend we see from FORZE that they're just so happy to silently dry push through smokes, and it's the biggest gamble you can see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this round, it certainly has worked.
Pushes on both sides. FORZE pushing through their smokes in mid. Works out for them, and AGO trying to push for info on the CT side has absolutely blown up in their face. Sachi and Rowland find themselves alone.
A disgusting meta, and I hate it. But it works. Sometimes, and then other times it doesn't. So
That's very insightful.
You got to be a gambling man to go for the smoke pushes. That's what I'm saying.
That I am not. So, very disappointing how this round has worked out for AGO. It seems like now, from this position, the half is going to start to slip away from them. Money's good for Laman and Fiku, but not for the rest of the lads.
Yeah, this is not looking good for AGO. They only get around 50% of their rounds on that T side, so they really need to make that CT side work. They get 57% of their rounds on the CT side. So it is definitely their better half. Right now, it's certainly not looking so, as we do see a faster approach coming out now with presence towards B.
That molly just bounced off the edge of the van back into the smoking apartments. Welcome to CSGO. Well, Almeza holds his ground nicely. AGO unable to trade, but the two-man push through A main, but still two players towards A, and may just bait falls into them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the pushes are working out for AGO the way they want them to. 3 on 5.
Ooh, rocking a hard place there. Fiku at triple. No way out against the AKs.
Kind of just get the sense that FORZE have slipped themselves into very comfortable territory now and are kind of just going through the motions, playing patiently, waiting for AGO to make mistakes, don't get too over-aggressive, and ultimately putting them to rest. 8-5. How comfortable the last few rounds have been for FORZE is probably the best looking rounds we've seen out of this series so far, on either side. And they've just looked clean.
They've just been systematically dismantled.
Yep.
It's like packing IKEA furniture.
You'd know all about that.
I definitely wouldn't know all about that. Putting it together again after with no instructions is a bit of an adventure.
For context, everyone at home, Jim is actually a mover in his spare time. Loves packing up IKEA furniture for people, taking it to different places.
Like Jim's mowing, Jim's plumbing, there's actually Jim's removalists as well.
You can find multiple franchises here.
An opening frag for AGO. So hopefully that prompts a little bit of patience on the CT side now, that they don't feel the need to go for the info, they don't feel the need to make the play. They can wait for FORZE to come to them, play the round out that way. Sachi has been very good with the AWP so far. 11-9, puts another one on the board for himself, gets traded down by Zorte through the flash and starts to look a little bit more precarious on the A-bomb site. The man, nicely timed pick, and Almeza didn't know he was there. The info comes half a second too late. The man able to just hide and buy that time.
Flash came in through from his teammate, but blinded him as well. Peeks off the second to find that Zorte was not at Tetris, but now the hunt ensues.
Flanks also coming in from Rowland as well, so this round's on a timer, I think.
Yeah, but AGO need to make sure they don't lose another gun here. And he's really, really low.
Yeah, how deep the player is in CT.
Just jump spotting. Not seeing a whole lot. Zorte comes back to the A-bomb site. Might even be able to get a bomb plant depending on what the man does. Now, though, that the creep has addressed for Rowland. Oh, it's a bit more expensive than you'd like to see for AGO. But in the end, they get the round. And I suppose that's what really matters.
Yeah,
they're
only going to be able to drop 2 guns out of that, at best, and that's foregoing utility on 2 players, so... And then the third player is either going to go light on weaponry or light on utility.
Light on utility, it seems, for Fiku. Just the one smoke. aggression on the CT side. This time it's Snatchy who sets himself up at A main. Surely won't push any further with that AWP. But it's not a bad line to hold. Bombs over at B though. You talk about the utility being a little bit lacking for AGO. They've used all of their incendiaries so far. Still a few smokes in the back pocket, but can get a little bit worse for wear at the moment. Good shot from Snatchy. Been really solid. And a big reason why the 6 rounds on the board for AGO is exactly that, man. 4 on 2 now. And it seems that AGO will be able to at least salvage the half. Be able to get to 7. See what Flit and Zorte have to say about it. Apparently not. Back to 2 on 2. Short already controlled AGO, but the smoke down really causing some problems for them.
Oh, boost over the top, and it may have been perfect, but look at this push coming in towards short. They know that someone's come from this position as a smoke has. And Fiku staying silent, Flit playing the smoke to perfection. However, the footsteps heard, and this is going to be Fiku just jumping around like a madman, finds one Zorte. It's all on M4, and Zorte able to get at least another shot off here, but it's not going to happen, and Fiku goes straight across to the bomb, has a kit to play with, and he will get the defuse off in time. So it will be 8-7 at the half. FORZE leading by 1 round. Ladies and gents, don't go too far. We will be back after the break with the second half.
Welcome back. A very close first half between AGO and FORZE on Mirage, but given the stats you were throwing in our direction earlier on in that half, Jim, it probably doesn't paint a particularly pretty picture for AGO, at least not in terms of being able to get the 2-0 here. Definitely did look to me, based on the eye test, that FORZE was looking a bit more comfortable than AGO were, but ultimately 7-8 is about as close as you can get, so it's definitely something to play with for AGO.
Certainly is, and I think it does. Look, it was better than their earlier half performance. I think they were really under the weather there against FORZE. They were really struggling to find rounds. It wasn't until there was a few breakthroughs. In fact, when FORZE decided that they would just dry push through smokes and execute on the back of a single flash and a smoke towards connector, they were shut down quite quickly. That was one of the big swing rounds for AGO. They were able to get themselves back on the winning round after that. And in terms of what was produced after that, they were able to start to string some rounds together, start to build some economy. However, FORZE just whittled them away in the later stages of that half. They were really pushed and pulled across the map as well. So in terms of the way that FORZE are playing, they're quite comfortable on this map. As we know, they don't actually win the majority of the rounds on T side. It's their CT side. It's around that 62% mark where they win most of their rounds. So they're now heading onto the more comfortable side on a map that they have a lot of reps on in the last 3 months. I think they played it like 32 times with a 78% win percentage. So that's pretty high, if you ask me. A lot of reps.
Conversion rate, that's for sure.
I just want to point out as well that Flit and Fiku both actually failed the eye test.
Why is that?
They used ones instead.
Really?
Yep.
The more you know.
I
didn't pick
see
up
what
on
you
that.
did there.
But what I wanted to point out, Mac, was it does actually feel like, again, it's the same story for AGO as what we were selling on Nuke, in that there's a lot of clutches coming through for AGO. I mean, you look at that first half, you think, okay, if Snatchy isn't the X factor in a couple of those rounds, how much does that balloon out for FORZE? You know, how big of a deficit would AGO be having coming into this second half, were it not for a couple of really good rounds coming through from individuals on AGO? So, again, can you continue to rely on that to get you a win on, a second map in this series? It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, again, just based on the eye test here on Mirage. It feels like, at the moment, FORZE just a bit more comfortable. And then, if we do go on to Ancient, which you've said, Matt, you sort of think probably leans a little bit towards FORZE.
Yeah.
Do some of those AGO members cool off? And in that instance, what does that then mean for this series?
Well, I guess it's just more of the endurance test. I want to see if this is going to even go to Ancient at the moment. It looks like I've liked what we've seen from FORZE, but AGO starting to fire up towards the end of that first half. So hopefully as we head into the second half now, we will see that trend continue. And we might have a very close game on our hands again. Last time both these teams played, of course, this did go to overtime. So we'll see if that is a factor again.
Yeah, I would say too that when they rotated their sixth in Le Mans, he's normally more of a CT side specialist. I wouldn't say he was super impactful as he had been in the previous matchup. However, was consistently holding that A site by himself. Now he switched onto the T side. He's got a lot of work to do to get himself into this, and I think this one writes itself in terms of strategy.
Yeah, well, there's a nade at the ready, thrown a little bit late, maybe. Could have done a huge amount of damage if it was thrown straight away, but Almeza and Flit teaming up nicely to hold the B site for the moment. Almeza just dancing around here on short, no eyes on him just yet. He's just going to be tapping away, finding at least 3. And he never fell either. One at the end towards Snatchy, Furlan falling as well, and everything goes right for FORZE to stretch it out to a 2-round lead and take that CT pistol.
Just on that B rush, on the pistol, super fast, super simple, was dismantled super easily by FORZE, and simple crossfires, that's all it took. There wasn't really a lot of utility to work with, so there wasn't anything to get them off the crossfires. Now they find themselves in a situation where they're actually going to buy Deagles into this as well. Some light utility to match it.
Going to see a late window smoke coming out as well, with the old style of being thrown. Maybe more consistent.
That one leaves a gap in it on the far right side, from a T's perspective.
In comes the push. Oh, a tiny gap on the top con smoke as well. Jerry going to be spammed at but not connected on just yet. Oh, however, as he tries to get away, he is going to be spotted. Flit, very aggressive maneuver coming in on the flank, running and gunning, and it's not going to work out how he planned. Only good for one. And we are going to see a few more CTs falling. However, Zorte on 77 HP, able to snag away another and turn it to the 2v2. Almeza. Proactive approach as well down short, but that bomb down at stairs. I don't think the CTs are aware just yet.
Well, Fiku's managed to grab it. You've been singing his praises all night long. Here's another chance for him to pull off the big one. A 2-on-1 clutch, not going to happen. Zorte gets it done with the scout. Couple of assisting taps from Almeza through that smoke. Maybe a bit too close for comfort for FORZE.
Certainly got more than they bargained for, AGO. Not a huge investment into that round, just Deagle light armor again, and that's what we're going to see them here, except minus the armor, so just looking to get guns into next, of course. Back themselves in, why not? We've seen plenty of Desert Eagle action across this series, across all of the playoffs, to be honest, so these are some of the highlight rounds.
Almeza doing a good job of locking down apartments. Jerry maybe timed here by Snatchy, but he actually spots the player out long range and won't actually find any damage onto Jerry. Still, Deagle from Fiku continues to be impressive. 250. See what that can do from this position already this game. No such luck for AGO yet.
Yeah, Flit very confidently standing there at bench. Just trying to play the off angle. Look into A main for info. Kenzie, I'm going to say that that was a experimental grenade.
Tech gren.
Yeah, to clear out lower mid. And AGO grouping up towards A main, edging their way out at Tetris and looking to play strength in numbers. Nice line held by Rallen. And Azorte going to be out on an island. Needs to buy some time for the rest. However, given an opportunity to slide back into jungle. Two-man rotation back to CT. And the boost up clears out all of stairs as well.
Whatever ends up being the case here. Oh, another good shot from Fiku. AGO is definitely keeping FORZE honest, and now they should win the round from here. Almeza 6 HP. Famus in hand, no chance. 8 to 10. AGO, they nearly did it in the previous round, but they've gotten it done here. CT economy in absolute shambles straight off the bat, and that is exactly what you want when you're chasing a deficit like this. It's not a massive one, but to start that half off with a decent round like that for AGO, it feels like finally something's gone their way on Mirage.
Saw what FORZE were trying to do then in that round as well. Just surrender control of jungle, group up on that CT ramp and hopefully retake together. But I mean, I feel as though in hindsight, having that jungle control would have been crucial for them because they actually would have been able to pressure the T's a lot more effectively.
Let's see if FORZE can fight back just with a couple of Eagles and M4 Scout. MP9 jump peeking the pixel line there. Just waiting for the perfect moment to drop that nade. So far, nothing spotted. Man just waiting in the kitchen, and it looks like it will be the belated B split. No eyes on this position as the CTs are going aggressive through A main instead. The numbers are good. Kenzie good for one as the trades will ensue. AGO coming out on top for the moment. Almeza though, this MP9 a little bit dangerous as he holds down Van for a moment. Needs to get that reload off, but Fiku just waiting on the other side, looking to open the door towards the B site. Snatchy coming in, smoke phase, and in my position he can beat him, but Almeza gets another. Ridiculous. And now it's back to the one-on-one. Zorte sneaks in from the long flank, and it's more than enough. FORZE, 11 on the board.
MP9 in your face.
Almeza might as well change his name to Laser. At MP9, there's a double blink just across the B bomb site. At that range, the MP9 is crazy.
Out of all the weapons that FORZE bought last round, that was the last one I was focusing on.
I saw the position he was in, sitting on top of Van. I saw the peak coming through. I was like, no way he wins this. But he does. So it's back to another force for AGO. This one looking a little bit better than the last fight. Frankly, what a reset from Fiku. Flips across. The Snatchy does a lot of damage to Jerry, which makes it easy for Rallen. Once again, the Force Spy looks like it's starting to come out and reign supreme. Smokes are down. Almeza behind the smoke. But Kenzie hasn't been cleared, and now the bomb is spotted. That's really bad news for AGO. FORZE have held on long enough, it seems like, as the smoke starts to fade. It turns to Rallen and Le Mans. And who's coming up connector, but won't win the duel. Perfect timing from Kenzie on the peak, and he's been an absolute rock in connector. Did a lot of work there on the first half as well. He was on T side. So, Rallen, 2-on-1. Slides his way out. Gets past Zorte.
Ooh. Given an opportunity just to isolate these fights. The jump across from Sandwich, and it has not been timed at all. There's the first found, and Rallin knows that Zorte's over there in CT, but Zorte very sharp on the AWP this evening. And there you have it. 12 on the board for him. And the rest of FORZE, 8 for AGO.
It was fast, it was simple as well from AGO on that T side. They just smoked off connector, tried to isolate the rotations as well. I think there was a smoke down at jungle. And they just went out dry going for duels. So it's funny because that's what you expect from FORZE.
Yeah.
AGO are just trying to give them a dose of their own medicine. Nearly worked as well.
If nothing else, it keeps FORZE's economy reeling. No player above $500.
Well, Almeza has this MP9 again.
He does, that's true.
The most dangerous weapon in the server.
Apparently.
He himself is the weapon.
And he farms with it too, doesn't he? On boost. Gets Fiku out into mid. Not a huge concern for FORZE. They were more than happy to give up control of mid in this round.
Okay.
Bit of info gathering going on.
Aggressive maneuvers. That is going to thin out the utility of FORZE as they invest it for the info. Good placement of the nade. Boost stopped as well for the moment as Fiku. He's spotted. Flit deals with this. Oh my lord. Deals with mid single-handedly. 3 kills. Ridiculous spray transfer from the man at bottom mid up to Cat.
Yeah. Snatched and deleted.
Give that to me again, production. At some point, please.
Inject it straight into his vein.
Please. Even though I know I'm fully aware they're eco frags. It's just good mechanics. That's what I'm here for.
That intravenous spray transfer.
Well,
13 to 8. Seems like the map is slowly but surely coming to a close. Haven't seen much from AGO so far in this second half. I mean, there was obviously that one round that went their way, but need something more. And Rallin really has to win those, unfortunately. Opens up Palace for FORZE.
I think that almost certainly now funnels them into B as well with that split. They've got no presence anywhere else on the map other than mid. Actually sent that player underpass. LeMan's gone towards mid, so they are now locked into mid, and mid is not a bomb site.
Very astute.
Slowly burning through their utility as well.
The aggressive play, Flit with the info and a kill as well. But he's put his life on the line for that one. Flash a little bit too deep, and it's not going to blind Kenzie, who holds his ground. Stops the smoke push coming out from AGO. And he's going to push it straight back as well to find a second. May have even heard the jump into window. They seem to be aware. Snatchy, he's threading the needle into market, but all eyes trained into this position. It's a matter of moments, and the timing is there for Almeza. Another, a rock-solid defense on the B side all this second half. And FORZE now just 2 rounds away from taking map number 2 of the series.
AGO desperately needed a plant in that round. Look at their economy. They're going to be on pistols. Maybe the Glils. There's the Mac 10 coming out. So, trying to farm some money up here. And allow their opponents to get to match point and fight back from there by the looks of things. So, a plant needs to be on the cards. That's where they're headed towards B quite quickly. Almaz has actually been one of the danger men. Has actually gone and strayed away from his MP9 though, so I think Furlan would have heard that.
100%. Just waiting for this util to rain across. Needs to be a deep flash as well to blind the player up on the balcony, but they're going to disregard it. Okay, thinking that that second man might have been it. Now it's going to be Almaz going huge again, only good for 2. Almost the third, but there is some backup close. Some util going to be dumped as well, just to save the life of Kenzie on just 1 HP, who finds another kill in that situation. Furlan and Fiku find one apiece, but it's FORZE that reign supreme. 2 alive at the end, but 15 on the board, and there's still plenty of money in the bank to buy here.
Great work from Kenzie there, just staying alive, allowing that rotation to come through. Otherwise, they had all control of bomb site. And this is no surprise to see a timeout coming out. There's a lot to discuss here. This is an important gun round. They forewent any weaponry in the last to try and give them a fighting chance here. 7 match points they've got to contend with. Jordan, I don't know about this.
I don't know about it either. I mean, they've gotten 1 round so far in the second half, and now you're expecting them to get 7 in a row. That'd be a miracle for AGO as far as I'm concerned. I think it's toward Ancient that we are headed, which is probably what we all wanted.
Yes.
And you can't wipe the grin off Mac's face about it either.
Let's just see more Ancient. I just want to see more. I hated it when it was first announced, but I'm definitely on the bandwagon now. I'm actually driving the bandwagon.
Yeah, I think people are starting to come around. Seen a few more positive takes lately. It's like with anything, people hate change. Still, I'll say I probably was disappointed to see Train removed, but that's by the by.
Yeah, Train was on the map that deserved to die.
Exactly.
No. Ooh, info there at unders.
Train did nothing wrong.
Little tick of the molly on the feet of both the T's. We'll see if that one's heard from the short player. Certainly seems to be, as they've invested yet another Molotov. AGO already down to the minute mark. All they've gained is this mid control.
They're going to have to gain a bit more, aren't they, mate?
They're flashing their teammates more than the enemies at the moment, so that is worrisome.
Probably doesn't help. Jerry's in a nice spot above the smoke here. Connector. Alan's found the opener though. One small step for AGO. On the road to victory, but the road to victory may be a little more difficult than they expected. LeMan has checked the smoke, hasn't seen Jerry at all. And in the end, that's a freebie for Jerry, Almeza and Zorte chiming in with a few themselves, and that is it.